patrons! How are we doing? Well, things have changed a little bit with the way that I'm doing it. In fact, I can see your chats very easily just there, which is weird because I'm pointing in the other direction. But as you can see, we are still on YouTube. And the reason for this is that I did my best. I looked at a couple of platforms. I did a few experiments with my parents. Used my parents as guinea pigs. So I did some transatlantic streams for just the two of them. And we all agreed that, well, A, we weren't gaining anything by changing the system, but B, they actually found it harder to sign on and they found it more difficult. So, and C, the one of the streams I was looking at doing, one of the platforms I was looking at doing was going to cost me $70 a month. So, and it was worse. So, yes, so for now we're on YouTube, and I've tried to make it a little bit more obvious about what you need to do with the instructions in the streaming window. But it looks like we're all here. It looks like there's plenty of us here. So Shirley, great to see you. Bill, great to see you. Nigel, great to see you. Tim, great to see you. Mum and Dad, of course, it's always great to see you. Not that it's always great to see everybody, but it's especially great to see my mum and dad. I think you'll agree. And who else is here? I've said hi to Nigel, so I think that's it. Oh, and Lucy! Hey! Lucy's made it. Fantastic. Well, she's at work, but she'll need to go away. Quick tune for you, Lucy. Shall we go from... Oh, it's the new guitar. It's back. It's back. It doesn't buzz anymore. I want to turn an effect on. This guitar's sounding great, by the way. I am going back here to turn the effects pedal on. Don't go anywhere, Lucy. What shall we play? What sounds particularly nice on the... Ooh. Just got home, no surgery. Wow, fantastic, Rolf. I'm very impressed, Rolf. All right. So anyway, tune for Lucy and then a tune for Rolf. So let's do a tune for Lucy. Some Debussy, I think. And a tune for Rolf. Rolf, what would you like? My pleasure. Yes, the guitar is sounding really good, isn't it? Knife edge for Rolf. Alright, knife edge then. I really would need my looper pedal for this. Do you know what? I'm going to go back here. I should have come more prepared, shouldn't I? I'm going to go back here. I'm going to turn off. Oh, it looks like I have spilt an entire glass of water here. Good thing that there's not like lots of electrics. Yeah, it's fine. Sorry, entire glass of water spilt here, but it looks like everything's fine. Yeah, it's fine. It'll be right. A pint of water never hurt any electronics, right? Pretty sure my PA's safe there. It's sat in it, but oh dear, dearie me. Right, I am going to plug my guitar into the looper pedal. Ka-ching! I am going to plug, I think it's that input actually, I get mixed up. I'm going to plug the output of the looper pedal into, where does that go? Sorry guys, it'll be worth the wait because I'll be able to play Knife Edge for you. I'll be able to bring my chair over here and I will give you some Knife Edge. This is a bit impromptu, so, but seeing as Rolf has been under the knife edge today, then, oh, you can see me. You can see my messy studio as well. Yay, that's good. There's no sound. Perfect. I plugged in the wrong one. No, I am not plugged in the wrong one. Which means... Oh, guys! What's going on? Where's this coming out of? If in doubt, turn it off and on again, right? Yep. I'll get you a looper pedal. We had something there. And it's gone! What the hell? Whoever said that water didn't do any damage? Rolf, I would love to play Knife Edge for you. It's not going to happen because I can't get any volume. Sorry. We'll go back to... Alright. I don't know what happened there. I would love to play Knife Edge with a looper for you. If you just tuned in, I'm usually a little bit more organised than this. Alright, we'll try it on here. I'm not going back there to switch off that effect. Right, and what I need you to do is keep singing that. Because I can't guarantee I can sing it and play. Let the sad man take a look down at the madman. Theatre king's arm, silver wings fly beyond reason. From the flight of the seagull come the spread claws of the eagle. Only hernias break the silence as we all recover. Get people to make you lots of food and coffee. About Rolf's hernia. Rolf, you've had an operation. You better rest up and let people pamper you. Don't you dare make yourself any drinks. I'm gonna stop here because we've gained a person. I thought I'd start losing people. There you go, Rolf. I hope you're gonna be making the most of it. When my dad, I know you've had one before, when my dad had his hernia operation, he couldn't even drive. So, yeah, I'm pretty sure, as they said in that comment, you can't make yourself a drink. You can't, if you need to, like, peel an orange, or could you peel the orange for me? You won't be able to peel an orange. It'll be terrible for everybody else, it'll be great for you. I hope you enjoy your recovery period. This is coffee tea. It's tea with coffee beans. And I'm drinking coffee tea because we're out of coffee. Just letting you know about that. There you go. Little insight into my life as 12 people are with us. Welcome, 12 people. No geocaching for a while. Well, there's a few new members, so geocaching might be a new concept. But it's basically going out in the middle of nowhere, or sometimes in a town, and finding a container, using your phone and signing your name on it, and yay, I found a geocache. I went out to do a multicache yesterday, and a multicache is basically where you got to find 3 things. It was along a beach walk, and it was in lots of kind of bushes and things. You know what's coming, right? Yep. Me, bushes, geocaching, you know what's coming. Sure enough, I went trampling into the bushes because why would I know any better? When would I have ever had an experience that would have told me not to go trampling into bushes looking for a geocache? So I did, and I found the first thing, which was a flip-flop in the bushes with some coordinates stuck to it, and came out with 2 ticks on me. And thankfully, Katie had one on her. She spotted it. I'm like, oh my god, let's check. So we checked ourselves, and of course, I had 2 ticks on me. The reason I'm telling this story, for anybody who missed this story, the infamous Ticksticle story. This happened a few weeks ago when I was out geocaching doing something very similar. I should have known better this time, and I ended up with a tick buried into my testicle. Yeah. Suffering for my art. I know, really, seriously. Or at least some tick repellent or something. I don't know if that stuff works. But anyway, the guitar is back, as you can see. It's sounding great. I'm very pleased with how it's sounding. And I showed you that little speaker, which is also sounding great. I have, talking about the 200 songs, I wrote song number 1 today. So I have been, I've got ideas, and I've got ideas. Yes, Lucy, yes. I've got ideas for quite a few of you. I've got this little notebook that whenever I think, I know I can write a song for Rolf about, then I make a note and I put that I'm going to write a song about a tick for Rolf and things like that. So today, yes, in fact, Tracy, you know which song I wrote this morning. So I'm very pleased with it. It will have its world premiere at your wedding, or at least at the wedding reception, probably at the cocktails maybe. And I will give you a recording for you to celebrate and for you to remember the musical aspect of your special day by. So yeah, I'm looking forward to hearing it. I'm very pleased with it. I hope you like it too. So yeah, only another 199 to go, as you say. But I'm feeling good about it because, I'm pretty sure I can do 2 a day. I know that will be 100 days if I do 2 every single day, but that's not bad going, I don't think. So I think you can probably expect them. Where are we now? April, May, June, July. You can probably expect them around July or August, I would imagine. Somewhere around there. So hopefully by then we will have reached 200 people. We got off to a flying start when I announced this crazy idea, and then we kind of came to a bit of a screeching halt. I think we just stopped in at a rest area, and people are chilling before they sign up again. Something to do while Yes and Asia are on stage, absolutely. And also I've got a lot of time to kill in the van. So I'll be writing stuff in the van, I'm sure. I'm also aiming to read War and Peace. Not that this year is going to be an epic year of doing all sorts of things like writing 200 songs and reading War and Peace, but that is the plan for the for the next couple of months and into the Yes tour. So yes, it's a book that I feel like everyone's got to read. So yeah, when I'm writing a song, it's different kind of bits of inspiration. One great thing I find about having a deadline and having to write a song, like today I had a song, I had on my to-do list for this morning. I need to program in the sounds for the PA, and I need to write a song. And sure enough, I wrote a song because it was on my to-do list, and I wrote a song. Now, if it wasn't on my to-do list, I am the kind of person who would sit around and think, "Oh, that bit's nice." This is a that's an idea. I'm not going to do anything with that idea. I'm just going to make a note of it, record it, and I will, and I'll come back to it. But when you've got to write a song, you turn that into a full piece, and it becomes a full piece, and very often these pieces wouldn't have gone anywhere if you didn't have a deadline and have to make them into a piece. Looking forward to seeing the show in July. Fantastic. I hope to come out and see you. Now, on any other tour, we usually have Patreon soundcheck meet and greets. And a few people have been asking me about this. But unfortunately, on the Yes tour, I don't want to completely rule anything out. But I've spoken to Bruce, our manager, and he's, it's very clear we are there as the guests of Yes. So things like that are much, much more difficult to do. I will definitely be coming out and saying hi and hanging out and doing everything that I can. But in terms of bringing you guys in early past the Yes security and whatnot, that is a completely different matter. So I think that would be quite tough. But yes, if you are coming, I can see you, Rick. Welcome. If you are coming, then I will be out and I will say hi, and it'll be great to hang. Rolf's will be a 20-minute epic prog track, multimeter and key changes, sporadic vocals. That's the only type of vocals I do, Rolf. Sporadic vocals are my specialism. Flying keyboards, sweeping synthesizers, short drum solo. Only a short one. Are you sure? Shredding guitars. Is the orchestra available? Absolutely. Rolf, you read my mind. You've seen my notepad, haven't you? That literally was what was on the notepad. Crazy. So, Lucy has been summoned by her boss to a boss's office. Lovely you could join us for the first half, Lucy. Great to see you. And see you again soon. Bye. Have a great day. Doesn't buzz anymore. Hey! Hey, Ed! Sounds better in tune, but there you go. Rachmaninoff's Second Piano Concerto. Now that piece of music, that is the piece of music that really got me into classical music and in particular romantic piano. I had a friend who was a pianist on the A-level music course that I did, so I was 16 or 17 at the time that I met him, and he was really into, we had a little band together, never really did anything, but we wrote a few Pink Floyd-y type songs. He was a great keyboard player, and he was really into the romantic piano stuff, and he said, you got to check out Rachmaninoff. Go and check out Rachmaninoff, and go and check out the second or third piano concerto. You can probably get them on a CD together. So, straight after college, I went down, as hungry as I was to learn about new stuff. I went down to the library, Burnley Central Library, and I found the CD of the second and third piano concerto, took it home, put it on, and just could not believe what I was hearing. It was unbelievable. It was like a whole new world was opening up, and I was kind of into prog at the time. I was not really huge into prog. I was yet to discover prog really, but I was into, say, Dream Theater. So I mean, it is prog, but it was kind of just because it had shreddy guitar in it, you know. And I was into Steve Vai, I was into Joe Satriani, I was into those guys, and then Rachmaninoff came along, and like, that is ridiculous. That is what I want to do. So I've been trying to play classical pieces ever since. Hey Ed, great to see you. Who's taking Simon's place? Well, we have David Pastorius, who is Jaco Pastorius's nephew, and as people have heard, Simon is expecting his first child. His girlfriend is pregnant. She is expecting in I think it's June the 17th, so imminent. So yeah, we're gonna be touring with David Pastorius and Arthur Brown on vocals, which will be very cool. So I'm really looking forward to that. You saw him post that the other day. Yes, absolutely. Yeah, Bill has got a great group that you should check out. Is it Essential Guitarists? Bill, feel free to put the link in the comments. It's a cool group for guitarists. Anyway, David is part of that. Yeah, very different style to Simon, but I think it's going to really work, particularly for the set that we've got. So the set that we've got, I mean, I've mentioned this before, but we have Carnival 9, Welcome Back. We have Knife Edge. We have I Am the God of Hellfire and I Bring You Fire. I think we've got some Hoedown, some maybe some Peter Gunn, and of course we've got Fanfare for the Common Man, because, you know, what's an ELP legacy concert without that? I've never ever done an ELP legacy concert, or a Carl Palmer band as it used to be called. I've never done a concert without playing that show. I've done a concert without playing any other piece, but that's the only one we've already played. Is Simon really on Simon for M5? Is that MI5? Very possibly. Yes, since he's cut his hair, MI5 and MI6 have contacted him and said you look much more like a spy nowadays. So we want you to come and spy for us. No one will suspect it. So yes. We're not. I feel like we've played Peter Gunn recently, but maybe not. I don't know. Maybe we played it in Europe. I can't remember. It all blurs into one. I always feel like Peter Gunn is one of those kind of. It's a fun piece, but it's a bit of a throwaway piece. Probably because it's just not agonizingly difficult. I think that's the thing about that piece. Everything else is having to play Keith Emerson's crazy keyboard parts, and then Peter Gunn is just like, well, that's the riff and this is the melody and I should do a solo here, and then we go back into it. So so it's just quite a nice piece. So yeah, Shirley loves it, and she also loves happy ending. Happy ending. Ever any talk of doing Canario? Yeah, we've been doing Canario. We did Canario on the last tour, actually. Yeah. Yeah, we did that. Again, they all run together. I think we did that in Europe. Who knows? I think we've always done. There might have been a period where we've not done Hoedown, but Hoedown has been pretty consistent. But it's just one of those exciting, let's play it as fast as we possibly can pieces, and it's just good fun as well. It's it's not like angry or anything. There's nothing. It's just all positive energy, like, whoa, let's go for it and let's see how fast we can play this, and isn't this great, and isn't life great, and yeah, that's how I feel about Hoedown. Thought you were getting a haircut. This is a haircut. This is a haircut, Ed. Seriously, honestly, people were going on about me for getting my hair cut for ages, so I finally did it. I don't really like it, to be honest. I prefer it longer, but everyone else seems to be of a different opinion. And I don't really like the way that it's kind of one length. I preferred it all kind of different layers and stuff like that. But again, I'm in the minority, so what do I know? Exactly. You've played Hoedown more than the Beatles and Elvis combined. Did the Beatles and Elvis ever play Hoedown? I think the drugs might be kicking in. I think Rolf's drugs might be kicking in. I don't remember Beatles playing Hoedown. I need a Frampton perm. Oh, don't mention the P word. I've been there. I've done that. I had a perm. I blame my wife. I completely blame my wife. I tell you why. I blame my wife. Because she's such a late riser. I was in the UK. I went down to the hairdressers in the morning. And I was chatting with the hairdresser. And I was like, I don't know. I'm thinking about doing something a bit different. Can't remember who brought perm up, but it was one of us. I think it might have been me. Because he'd mentioned it before. And I said, what about perm? Could you do a perm? He said, yeah, we could do a perm. Yeah. So I text Katie while I was waiting, just saying, I'm thinking of doing a perm. What do you think? No answer, because she was in bed. And had she have got my message, well, in fact, when I walked out of the hairdresser with my perm, looking like a blonde Jimi Hendrix or something. When I walked out of the hairdressers with my perm, I checked my phone and there was a message saying, "No, you must be kidding! Don't even think about it. That's the worst idea you've ever had." Text back saying, "Too late. I'm just out of the hairdressers. I've just had a perm." So yeah, and for anybody who has seen, let me have a look. For anybody who wants to see what happened the day after I had my perm, one of the reasons I was having my haircut was because I was doing a video shoot in London, and I said to the guy the day before. I called him up, and because the perm kind of went a bit wrong, so it was the day before, and I said, "Bruce, just to let you know," he said, "Is everything all right? Everything all right?" I said, "Yeah, but just to let you know, I've had a perm," and he thought it was a joke. He thought I was kidding. He said, "Oh my God, no, you're kidding. You're winding me up. You're kidding, aren't you?" So anyway, I sent him a picture, and let me find. I'm googling myself. Paul Bielatowicz Debussy, that should do it. Here it is. Now this this is the video that was recorded. You see, this is quite a good video. Maybe that was the secret to my success. Maybe I'm like Samson, only it's not long hair, it's perm. So this is what happened when I arrived at the studio. He handed me something. See if you can see what he handed me. Yep, that's me wearing a hat. If you've ever wondered why I was wearing a hat in that video, now you know. I've never worn a hat to play guitar. I never will wear a hat to play guitar. But I was given that hat to wear because I had just had a perm. And the guy who was producing the video shoot thought that it looked dreadful. There it is, there's my hat. And you can see actually I've got really short kind of frizzy hair sticking out the bottom of it. You'll have to have a look closely later. Look at that. That's kind of straw-like wiry hair. That's me doing my best to straighten it. So there you go. So there you go. That's the story behind the hat. Any more questions about my hair? I'm glad to answer questions about my hair. Ever check out friend Andy Ali Dort, is it? On guitar? No, I didn't. I don't think I've ever heard him. No, I'll have to check it out. I have to check him out. Have I ever tried streaks in my hair? No, but I do have white hairs coming through. I don't know if you can see any. I do have white hairs, so I'm pretty sure sooner or later, give me another few years and I will have naturally white streaks in my hair. That's what I'm going for. So now, check your hairs for ticks. Yes, I did. I got Katie to check my hair. And we combed them as well. Last time, I just went in the shower and scrubbed it. And apparently it's not the thing to do because they can hold on to wet hair. What they can't hold on to is dry, combed hair. So, so there you go. Yeah. Welcome to the club. You mean with the white hair? Yeah. Yeah, it makes me look distinguished. I'm still getting asked for ID for alcohol, so you know, I'm not really complaining. So it's good. Somebody asked, "How is the 25th fret?" It is luscious. I'm loving it. It's working really well. When this guitar was basically, what happened is the guitar, the frets that went in were a bit too wide, and it was to try and cover up the other frets, the previous frets which were also wide. And when you get frets too wide, it means there's not much, I mean, stating the obvious here, there's not much space in between them for you to hit your finger. So you end up at the top for something like this. It's very hard to get the note to ring out if it's just all metal and a little bit of space in between. So I got him to thin the frets out a bit. The guy just must be so happy to see the back of me. But he's a lovely guy, so he'd never say it. So I take advantage of that. So yes. So the 25th fret. I'm in the middle of piece, so kind of, but it's ringing out very well. In fact, it's even ringing out. It's ringing out better than that. It's ringing out really well. Do I like small frets or jumbos? Very easy answer for me. That jumbos. The higher, the better. I don't care about them being fat and wide. In fact, I'd rather them not be fat and wide. I'd rather them be narrow, but very, very high. And the reason for me wanting them to be very, very high is it means that I can get my finger... When you're tapping, the two-handed tapping thing, it's basically a series of hammer-ons and pull-offs. You know, so when I'm doing something like this. So basically what I'm doing there, in order to make this note sound, that note sound on the way back, I'm taking this note that I've just played, and I'm basically, instead of plucking the string up here, I'm plucking the string at the fret where I have just played that note. So I'm actually plucking it, and that's what's happening in a detailed way. Hammer-ons are just you bang the string down, but pull-offs, to do that, you're actually plucking each string. So I'm plucking the string here with my third finger. I'm plucking the string here with my first finger to go to this finger. I'm plucking the string here with my little finger. Now, in order to make that work, you need to have some room underneath in between the metal of the fret. Somebody, and this is not a silly question at all, because obviously we're not all guitar players here. Somebody was asking what a fret is. Fret simply means the metal bars going across. All right, so they're just where the notes are sounding. Yes, what was I saying? Oh yeah, in order to make this sound well, in order to pluck a string, you've got to get underneath it. You can't pluck a string if you're just in line with it. You just kind of dragging across. So you really need to get your fingertip underneath and pluck. That is why I prefer as much room underneath the fret, in between the fret and then between the top of the fret and the fingerboard as possible, so I can get my finger underneath it and then pluck. So yeah. Oh, I thought you hammer. Okay, right. No. These are all pull-offs. Yeah. So going down. Some people do tapping like that. They would do that. Like that. That feels weird to me. I don't like that for a number of reasons. This is number one. This is more legato, i.e., the notes run into each other. But number two, I like the varied attack or the varied sound in it. That's one thing I like about the guitar compared to the piano. You know, I think some of these pieces, they lose something. You know, something like Clair de Lune or any of those pieces, they lose things for being on the guitar. But they also gain things for being on the guitar, because while I am having to miss out notes here, there's no way a piano can slide. You know, so you're getting that on piano. And I like slides there. I think that sounds good. On piano it'd be. So yeah, I like the variation, and it's the same with tapping. There's a lot of people do the tapping stuff and they try to make it as consistent as possible, so every single note sounds the same. Alan Holdsworth was one of those guys. He didn't tap. He was a legato guy, but he made sure every single note was as a hammer on, and which was just insane technique to do it. But it meant that everything sounded consistent, because that is what he was going for. He was going for the sound of a saxophone, or the sound of a horny type sound. And I didn't mean it like that. It was going for a horn type sound. But for me, I like the variation. I like it that some notes happen to sound different to the other notes. It just seems to add a bit more colour. So there you go. Do I like odd tunings like Joni Mitchell? I've not really messed around with odd tunings, to be honest, Ed. I like to know where I stand on the guitar. Occasionally, I'll do drop D, like my new arrangement of Reverie. Why I did that with drop D is just because it went down to a low D. It actually goes down much lower than a low D on the piano, but in arranging this, I was all ready to play it like this. So that's how it goes. I was all ready to play it instead of the low D there. I was already to play it like this. But it just didn't have the same sound. And that's a real moment when it goes down to the low D. So I decided to, just for that note, I decided to tune the whole thing to drop D. And the great thing about open tunings is they do kind of put your hands in unexpected places, and they do, you find yourself just stumbling across cool chord voicings that you wouldn't ordinarily find, which is sometimes how I like to write. Sometimes that will start an idea and I'll build on that. Very often, a lot of the stuff that I'm doing with this is more problem solving, how to arrange a piece. Maybe for writing it's a lot more useful, because it kind of just forces you out of doing what you would, where your fingers would normally fall. Odd tunings, non-standard tunings, not really something that I've played around with too much. There's one piece on my album that I did in a different tuning, and I think, if I remember rightly, that's a piece that I've not even played since I recorded it. It was I think it might have been the Wieniawski Etude, maybe. It's a long time ago now. I probably recorded it in 2013, so it's 6 years ago now. So, but I recorded. I think I tuned the. I think I might have raised the E string. Oh, I think I tuned the E string up to an F or an F sharp, and it was because there was some stretches and it were just pretty much impossible. So it just meant that every note I wanted to play on the top E string, as it should be, was 2 frets lower. It just made it a lot easier, a lot more manageable. Would a tempered tuning help with classical pieces? Well, that's interesting. You should say that. I was just talking to this whole tuning thing about this whole tuning thing. We're kind of out of time now, so this is a whole can of worms. But basically, the way we tune, all notes are tuned equally. There is an equal frequency ratio between all notes. That's not the way that they occur naturally in the harmonic series. Notes occur naturally in nature. If you split up this note, you get these. You're getting all of those things naturally coming out of that string, while they do not adhere to strict semitone ratios. They do not strictly split the octave into 12 notes, and composers of the past didn't use a well-tempered, or equal temperament, should I say, instrument until the last century. It really became popular around the start of the last century, end of the 1800s, start of the 1900s. Now, would I be tempted to go to an instrument that would use that? The answer to me, Ed, is no, not at all, not for 1 minute. Because if I listen to that now, and I've listened to instruments that aren't in equal temperament, it just sounds out of tune to me. I think it's because we're so conditioned by equal temperament that it just sounds wrong. So no, I wouldn't use equal temperament. How's the electric mandolin? Yeah, I've not experimented with it. I've had a few plays about on it, but not really experimented with it. That's something I should get out for the solo tour, I think. That's something I should get out for these compositions. Thanks, Rolf. Perhaps your composition will be an electric mandolin composition. There you go. You'll regret you asked that. All right, guys. Great to see you. Thanks so much for joining me. This was a lot of fun. It's nice to get spontaneous like this. I do think it helps that Rolf is on drugs and he's bringing out inspired questions. All right, guys. Rolf, from everybody, I'm sure everybody wishes you this and wish you a speedy recovery. And yeah, I hope you're feeling great, but not up and around. Still insisting that everybody wait on you hand and foot for at least another month. I hope you've got a cup of coffee in your hands, cool beer in the other, neither of which you got from the fridge or the coffee machine. And I hope you've got a foot bath. I don't know, what else? What else do you need? Yeah, you definitely need an army of servants around you, providing for your every whim. All right, guys, lovely to see you. Great to see you guys. Great to see you, Kurt. Thanks for joining us. Great to see you, Bill. Ed, Rolf, great to see you. Shirley, lovely to see you. Rick, thanks for joining us. Lovely to see you. Bill, I know I'm missing people. Tim, fantastic to see you. Who else is there? There's my mum and dad. I don't know if they're still here. Tracy, of course, and Nancy, and whoever else is watching. Alright, guys, well, I know there were more, so apologies if I missed you out. But lovely to see you all, and might see you later. If not, I will see you on the page, and I will be posting more updates from this lovely instrument and what I get up to with it. See you guys. Bye.